Relax. Fill your lungs. As we connect to this space, a welcome to those of you still coming into this space. Make sure you have some water next to you, some tissues, space is quiet, and relax. You can lay down or sit up. You dance around. This is your space. You want to breathe. Fill your lungs as much as you can. As you're listening to this voice, just relax and take it easy. Breathe that good deep breath into your lungs and let it out on the out breath. You can use your space as much as you want to use it for your own. Breathe how you want. Or you can listen to the voice. Either way, welcome. You're not alone. And just notice that breath as it comes into your lungs. Breathe it into your heart space as if your heart has lungs. Try not to effort anything here. Just relax. Just notice that the breath is breathing you. You don't have to match our breath. Three good deep breaths. Come on, just fill those lungs. You have lungs in your heart space. You're breathing in as you breathe in. You're filling your lungs and your that good oxygen connecting to your heart space. It's simple. Notice your mind. Notice your thoughts right now. Yeah, they're there. Maybe they were quiet. Maybe just by us saying, notice your thoughts. You're noticing them now as you're breathing. You're welcome. Notice the others around you in this space. Notice their heart spaces as well as we connect. It takes a little bit to settle as you're listening to this voice. It's a bit like watching the pendulum on the grandfather clock. If you don't know what we're talking about, it's that back and forth motion. Very simple as the air comes into your lungs, into your heart space. As we just relax our bodies, that's why we're in this space. Those of us are still coming here. Remember to have your water next to you. Remember, you have your space as quiet as you can and have a cloth or some tissues next to you. As we just be with our breath, notice yourself. Notice your mind, perhaps. It's a little racing. You have a lot of thoughts. And breathe into that heart space as if you have lungs in your heart. Breathe. If you want, you can envision the colors. Most of you here have worked with colors, and those joining later, you don't know what we're talking about. Just envision a good color, one of your favorite colors. Even if it's black or white, that's okay. This is your space. And just envision that in your heart space. We join together. We're a rainbow here, dark and light. Welcome. Welcome. You might want to relax your stomach if it's tight and you feel any tension in your body, anything at all. Maybe your legs, maybe your toes. You didn't know. Maybe your fingers are tense or your wrists, move them around. Just be with your breath. You can do this at the same time. Just breathe. And those are still coming into the space. We're still coming in here. And welcome. Thank you. Thank you for being here. Some of you have been here before, so you know how this works. We're alone together. And we want to say right now, just as you're breathing into your heart spaces, is if you have lungs in your heart and those just joining in, remember to take that good deep breath. Bring it out 2 breaths more and relax. We want to remind you, every single one of you in this space, thank you for being here. Thank you for joining and making this space what it is. And if you're noticing your heart space as you're relaxing and coming in, and we're moving more and more into the present moment. We're always there. It's just bringing our focus there. That's what we're doing here. And then together, as we're breathing in, and breathing out, you don't have to match our breath. It's your breath. Let your breath breathe you. Hi. Notice your stomachs and relax. Notice yourself. Notice the others. Breathe. Notice your mind. Perhaps you have anger. You came in this space and you're upset. You know, or you're dealing with things that you're just not settling in, and that's why you came into this space. Some people, feel like they don't belong, want to come here into the space because they feel like they'll make it toxic, but they can't. See, frequencies in this space. Just the connection would probably lose connection if anything was not meant in this space. So let's just keep breathing and be here now. That's the point. We're always here now. You can't be any other place. Everything happens right now. You were born now, you live now, and you'll die now. And you'll be reminded that you're here now. Now. It's just a reminder, be here now, this space that's available. It's just a reminder in the ever present now. It's kind of maddening to the brain because the brain's sitting over there going, are we done yet? Breathe. Didn't really get anything from that space. Are we done yet? Oh, we're off into this now. We're back into how it used to be. But anyway, my problems, and notice your body right now. If there's any tension as you're moving more into your space and you're okay in that space and you're not alone and you're safe and we're here together and we're alone together. Each and every one of us, you're alone in your journey. No one's going to come and save you. That's why some of you may be feeling a little freaked out right now during the shift of consciousness. It's kind of freaky. So we just keep breathing. So we just breathe like we have lungs into our heart space, and we just feel relaxed. If you're going to get anything here in the space, at least you got relaxed. It's pretty tense. We're moving through a pretty tense, a really big tense time during the shift. And that's why these sessions come just in time to remind you of that there's no time, that you're ever so present in the nowness. And you're doing so well, and we appreciate you. Thank you so much for coming to this lifetime during this shift. It hasn't been easy for some of you. Some of you feel like you're losing your mind. Some of you feel like you've already lost your minds. Muriel does. She didn't want us to say anything today. It was true. Just breathe. Just quieting down your house. Quieting it down. Doesn't need to be so noisy all the time. It's going to be okay. And then it gets boring. Boring as we keep breathing into our space. That ever present boredom. Boredom. Yeah, I'm bored. How boring. I'm here in the space, so disconnected from everything else. So lonely. I come into the space so I can come back to my presence of myself. Thank you, Muriel. Thanks, guys. Keep breathing. Oh, so very well. And it's clear. And if you need to hum along, you can. If you forgot to hum, you can ask yourself, when's the last time you danced? When's the last time you sang? When's the last time you hummed? Just because. We're not sitting in the space, holding hands, singing Kumbaya. Nope, that's not what we're doing. No, we did that a long time ago. No, we know why the space is here. And those joining in, maybe you're new to this space. Just sense into your heart space right now and just breathe. Yes, no one's going to save you. No one's coming to save you. But every now and then you need a reminder. Every now and then it's nice to have somebody over there going, hey, I understand what you're going through. I totally understand. In fact, I understand so much. You don't need to utter a word, my friend. Breathe. So as we're relaxing here and you're coming into your heart space, here we are, noticing yourself, noticing anything that comes up. Maybe you're feeling some temperature changes, cold, hot. Maybe you're noticing some things that you didn't notice before when you came into this space. It's all about singing about love and light. You notice this? Maybe some things will come up and you might feel a little anger, maybe some sadness, grief. Maybe you might feel some greed. Maybe you want something from this space. You're not going to get it. This is your place. All we're doing is reminding you. Some of you may know your guardians or aspects, whatever you want to word them. Some of you may understand about who you are. So here you are in the space and you're joining others. Some of you have a space that you like to sit with in your mind's eye, we say, within the kingdom within. As we shut the two physical eyes, We settle down into our space. If there's any time you need to get up and go to the bathroom, please do so. Drink your water. Make sure you do that as we clear toxins and things that no longer belong. We can sit here and be with our breath. And just let everything else do what it needs to do. Perhaps there's a space out in nature that you like. There's a special place that you have gone to during these sessions before. Bring that up right now and go there. Sit down on the ground. Maybe you have a place up in the tree or up in a cloud, anywhere here in this realm you call planet Earth, desert, beach, forest. Maybe it was a backyard of your childhood place. Maybe it was a place that you made up in your mind and you go there. And it's as real as any physical thing here. Because after all, if you can imagine it, it's real. So let's play. So breathe as we wait. Some of us aren't so magical, as in bringing up images. We didn't play with that magic. We played with other things. Just sense into this. Maybe it's new to you. You can remember a time when you were happy, remember a time when you laughed, and you can bring that and remember the memory of some place out in nature and just be there and breathe. And allow the higher frequencies, allow your focus on them. Remember, everything's right here, right now. It's not that it's not there, we're going there. It's always right here. What we're doing is expanding and widening the focus. It's right here, right now. As we breathe, we can do many things at once. We can breathe, and then we can remind ourselves that we're protected and we're safe. And we have guardians. Some of them are animal spirits, of plant spirits of nature. Some of them, even a cloud or a tornado could be your guide. It's true. Or they're angelic beings that we call angels or archangels or high frequencies of that nature. You know these ancestors, you know these sensations within the self. You don't, you're not alone. Hey, you got a whole group right here. Love. So just breathe into your heart space. You're safe. These places are of a high frequency where two or more gather. Where two or more gather. Okay. It's safe. So we're breathing and we're there. Just notice your environment in the space. Notice the temperature. Notice the time of day, perhaps. Maybe you're not in a time. Maybe it's sometime out of time. Maybe it's that place right before, when you're sleeping, right before waking in sleeping, which isn't quite here or there. As we breathe, use the space to get oxygen in your lungs. Here and now. Breathe and notice yourself. Many of you are conduits of energetic frequencies. That's why you're here in this lifetime at this time during the shift. And you'll have different times when it's extremely chaotic, and we're in that right now. As we're breathing, breathing, nothing for the mind. Well, not much. There's always a little something for your mind, right? Some of you are a conduit in changing frequencies. You don't have to be doing anything with your life. You notice that. You don't have to go towards your talent and gifts and passions or any of that. No, you know why you're here, and that's why you're here. We just keep it simple. And so during these times, it's important that you keep yourself in check. And that's why we're doing these sessions. And you come to this space for a reason. You can't do it alone because you're not alone. Although it seems like you are. It's not the paradox. Like no one's going to come and save you. Well, no one needs to save you because there's no saving needed. It's coming out of that focus as we're breathing and listening and being in the physical place where you're at right now, listening to this, and then being in that space within your mind's eye, within your kingdom within, that special place, wherever you're at. You could just bring up a fire right in front of you. Bring up the fire. Perhaps you don't want the fire lit. Maybe some of you want to gather some wood. So go and gather your wood, whatever you need to do over there, and take your walk, as some of you are still. Maybe perhaps you snapped your finger and the fire was lit. Hey, it's your space. Let's play. As long as you're breathing, we're right here, and you're staying in the present moment. You notice we have not left. It's magical about it. It's light. It's not heavy. There's nowhere to go. There's nowhere to have to go back to. There's no resolution. There's no having to go evolve and change. Everything's right here, right now. It's just tiresome. Let's just breathe. Some of you are like, ooh, this is a nice piece of wood. This would be a good fire. Good, good. You're still collecting your wood, as some of us have our fire going and we're getting warm next to it. Just notice the flames. We can be at many places at once. But here we are. We have our fires lit, and we're just have the flame in front of us. You don't have to have it all the same color, be red, orange. You can make it a different color, maybe rainbow. It's your flame. Just breathe. Be with your flame. Perhaps you came with an intention today, and if you haven't, you might want to bring up run right now, you know, mental, emotional, physical, maybe all of the above. Give your flame here, give it to the fire, breathe. Let's keep it simple. Perhaps your intention is to trust yourself. Perhaps you don't want to know what's about to come, but just trusting yourself is enough. Perhaps it's more compassion for yourself. Perhaps it's time to let out the lion's roar into the fire instead of holding everything in and trying to keep your shit together. Perhaps it's time to get that out and use this flame right now You're on mute. No one can hear you unless you're in an apartment or a flat where you might disturb your neighbors. But if you want, you can use that intention right now and just take that good roar into your fire. Roar. Perhaps it's a big, deep breath and just blowing it into the flame. The flame won't go out. That flame doesn't go out ever. Welcome to the present moment. It's the everlasting, eternal flame from within. We just projected it out in front of you. Yeah. Perhaps it's time to stay quiet. Perhaps it's a time in your life to just be quiet for a while. Maybe you haven't talked in a while. We're not talking about that. We're talking about your mind. Maybe it's time to apply a little bit of compassion for yourself and to notice how noisy the mind has gotten since we've moved into the shift. And every single human being is going through this right now. More mind chatter, my friends. So this is where we breathe. Trust the flames and breathe. Keep breathing into your heart space. Trust. We call Archangel Raphael. Trust the frequency. Just holding you in an embrace. Embrace it, my friends. You will make it out of this lifetime in one piece. You will. You're doing awesome. Oh, yeah. We just ask you to have just a little bit of compassion for yourselves during these times. If you could just have a little bit of compassion. Patience is in compassion. Compassions. Stretching it a little bit, but hey, at least we got you to laugh a little bit, right? Compatience. I'm so tired. I don't do it anymore. So we welcome you to the present moment. because it's the same moment where you get when you're done with this lifetime is right here. So just remember that, make it a little bit easier. Maybe not, but we just planted a seed. Breathe. Look beyond the flame of your heart. Breathe into your heart space. Look beyond the flames. Welcome to this present moment. You're allowing yourself to be here now. You have great love for yourself. You have great love for yourself. Go away from the space. Maybe you go off in the deep end within yourself. Maybe you haven't. Those of you who have, remember where you're at right now. This is all of who you are. So you're not trying to get here. You're trying to get back because there's no getting back to the present moment. Just keep breathing into your heart. Everyone loves that color, turquoise, turquoise, turquoise. More blue than green. Both together, more blue than green. Friends, breathe. Just breathe that in your heart spaces. Notice your flame beyond the flames. Notice the turquoise. Notice your toes. Notice your feet. Notice your ankles and your legs. You can even touch your legs with your hands. Notice your space. Notice you're grounded on the planet. Notice you're grounded on the earth right now. Unless you're hanging upside down like a monkey for the session, good for you. That's very entertaining. But still, you're still grounded here, even if it's hanging. So get up. You don't actually physically have to get up, so because some of you can't. So you're in a wheelchair or whatever. But get up in your space here, in your nice little space around that fire, as you're breathing. You're doing so very well. So why don't you just start walking around that fire, whatever direction you choose. Notice you're not alone right now. Notice the others. Notice your breath. Notice your thoughts too. Notice the frequencies coming in and out of you and expanding you and widening you and expanding your breath. As we breathe, we expand. If you're feeling shaky, it's okay. Some of it's anxieties. Sometimes the frequencies are high and it feels like anxiety and it's not. So just keep breathing. We tell you you're safe. Just try to relax the best you can as you get lighter, lighter. You might have new friends come. You might have new friends showing up around you. Just notice. Trust yourself. Notice the medicine men and chiefs around us right now. Notice the chiefs. Oh, there are about 2 million, but close to us, about 2,000, if not more. Numbers, numbers. There's many. Notice them. If you can't, that's okay. Just sense into this. Make it up. We all like to make things up. That's how we made up creation. That's how we made up. Breathe. Oh, back to the womb again. Oh, back to creation again. Back to it again. Back to the breath again. Here we are. Boredom. Back to the breath. There's nothing going on, but a whole bunch of transmutation. And so jump into the fire, friends. And don't, if you have any fear, some of you just jumped in. But those of you just, you say like diving into the pool for the first time, it's kind of scary. Just dive in. Well, not all of us can just dive in. Some of us have a little fear of that water. So we'll guide you here. Some of you are in the fire. Good for you. Enjoy the experience. Breathe. We'll tell you, friends, as you jump into this fire, you're safer here than any church or monastery that's ever been created on the face of the earth. Safe. Jump in. Breathe. We'll wait. Let's just make the flame purple now, shall we? Purple, make it darker. Make the purple flame darker. Those who aren't doing the images right now, just breathe. Be with your breath, my friend. Trust. Something will happen for you. There's nothing wrong with you. You're just opening up to your inner sense and seeing in the dark. We got it shut down. We were made to see in the light with two physical eyes. Here we're seeing in the dark with one strong eye. So welcome and be here now. We never left. It just seemed like we didn't notice this journey we took you on. We built the fire. Here we are dancing around it, celebrating with all the chiefs and medicine, celebrating, dancing around the fire, your own inner fire, celebrating that you arrived at this time. And as you're breathing into your heart space, you notice some things around you. Notice your friends. Notice you're not alone. Notice you're not crazy. Notice your mind and notice it has nothing to do with your mind. Notice your friends have nothing to do with the mind. Notice your friends are you disguised. Oh, oh, and if some of you getting hungry, just roast some marshmallows or beans, open up a can of beans. You know, put some nice food around the fire. Here we warm up our bellies too. Keeps us safe. As we stand sitting in time, in space, in a realm that seems hollow, in a realm that seems like there's no soul here. And we're just paper cutouts waiting to lay our bones down. You noticed here in the fire, you already did. This isn't easy, friends, to go through this change. It's not easy to be here. Nothing of anything we've ever experienced. Keep breathing. Nothing you've ever experienced. Nothing. You feel like you're dead. You're already dead. You're dying. If you're already dead, then why are you still alive? Why are we still doing this? Here we are breathing in this space. Why do I need to be in this space? Why are we here? Why are we doing any of this? Why the why? It's all crazy. It doesn't make any sense. I just want to be comfortable. This is what we do. We stay. They told us to stay and we listened. We didn't do anything wrong because we didn't get it right. We came back and did it all over again. No. You know why you're here. Stop pretending to be any less than royalty. Stop it. And you'll know the difference between if your ego needs attention or not. We don't need attention except breathe. Attention to the breath. Out breath. Oh, ah, oof, ah. In, out. We remember the flames, the inner flames. They never go out. It's an eternal flame. It goes on forever. That's a pretty long time. We just need reminders every now and then. And it's not easy being here in a realm that's compressed. Most of creation has no idea we exist. And this is what we're doing here. We're remembering and we're applying it. So you're breathing and exhaling. Some of you are really relaxed at this point. Some of you have let go, wording of some things that aren't serving you up to this point, because it's actually safe to do so. Or it seems like sometimes it's not. It seems like everything's just pointless and there's no reason to carry on, but you can't die. You love yourself too much, but not enough to apply the compassion and remember to breathe. This is what we're talking about, has become a present moment. Because we're always in the present moment, we have to come in with a focus. Distracting here. Get distracted. You'll leave this space and you'll go off on your own. Do you notice the paradox in what was just said? Like you're not on your own in this space. We're alone together. It's important. Because some of you kind of beat yourself up a little too much over that. You will. When you leave time and space and you move your focus out of here and you're really truly done, you'll enter what we call summertime, Summerland, the dimension of Summerland. We won't have the heaviness of the past, present, and future, the efforting and try to get out of here, whatever here is, all of that. You will. You'll arrive just like Saturday night will come again, not just tonight. Perhaps it's already Sunday for you and you're listening. You're calling in from Australia, whatever. Sunday night will come again. As we're breathing, maybe you lost some focus. You just breathe into your lungs, deep breath. The space is to here to get oxygen. The brain doesn't have lungs. The heart doesn't have lungs. So we give the lungs. We put the heartbeat where the heart isn't. Say it needs to go into your feet because you have arthritis in your toes. So we put the heartbeat down there. What's the heartbeat? Focus, close your eyes, and bring your attention down to your feet. It's that simple. Your consciousness applied will change everything. They didn't tell us that when we came into the matrix. They didn't want you to know that. Apply your consciousness and it will change everything. No, because this place is made for money. But that's not what we're doing here. That's what we're changing. Money's energy. Now we're applying it. But this time we're not going to be limited. So we're going to use our consciousness and breathe and put lungs where there's no lungs, like our brain. So when we breathe, our brain functions better because we have more oxygen. Our heart beats better because we have better blood flow. We're not constricted with breath because we want to get out of here and we're frustrated and angry. We feel like we're stuck here, trapped. Listen very carefully as you're breathing. Breathe. When you have done everything in your power, friend, when you truly have done everything that you can in your power, leave it up to the higher powers to take over. Stop beating yourself up over the head over this. We're moving through something that's never been done before. You're sitting over there like it's not even happening because it's kind of a shock. It really is. You came in here and you're like, oh shit, get me out. Keep breathing. You can't go back. You don't want to go back to your mother's womb. Trust us. Not a good place to go back up and into. So, we just need reminding every now and then. Okay, yes, you have to do it yourself, but it's nice to get reminded. Stop doing it yourself. Leave it up to the higher powers. And you know very well there are higher powers. Keep breathing. It's not fake. It's not religious. It's not made up. It's not spiritual. It's not science. Well, it's not scientific at all. It's not any of that. It's just the way it is. Stop pretending and just focus in your heart space, and you can notice this. So when we've done everything we can, we just need to relax. And this is with a patience, compassion. Sometimes you just have to sit there and the new day comes. And we're moving through these changes. It's going to be some time and space in between. You come so far. You feel like the outer flames are engulfing you. Remember your inner flame. We're going in. This is the new world. This is the brave new world. We're going in. We're going into the kingdom within. And it's not an easy thing to do because you feel like you're losing your mind. You feel like you're going crazy. And we know very well why that is. We don't need to keep explaining it to this group. You get it. Group, wording, wording. You understand this. The group within, yes. So when the flames get too much out there, remember the flame within. So breathe, close your eyes, relax. Give yourself at least 5-10 minutes to come into your space and remember the flame. Go in it, go through it, and you realize where you are when you to the other side, through within, over and in and out and up. Something like that with a couple of 45-degree turns. Wink, wink. Apply it to your bodies right now. Every single one of you has some kind of pressure going on. There's some kind of pain going on. There's some kind of fire, flames, hot heat in the body. Make your head sky blue, color of sky blue as we breathe into the heart space up. Every in breath you take, sky blue into the lungs and up into the brain. Or maybe you're a good artist and you like to just color it with some paints or something. Just take your brush in your mind's eye and color your head. sky blue. Just clear it up, bring it up and over, and be patient, passion for the self. So you know the pain that it causes when you have too much of one thing happening within you, and you know what's being said there. You have a personal experience with that. Okay. So you can cool the flames using their colors. You don't have to. Just breathe. Hold your heads, hold your hands, hold your heart, hold yourself. Pay attention to yourself, give yourself love. Don't just treat yourself like a dead body. Touch yourself, breathe. You love yourself enough to come into space and you focus as you breathe and just keep breathing in and out. It's so simple. But it's not so simple when you have a whole big chattery mind, messy mind. And then we go back to the breath. We'll notice the breath helps the mind. Even though it's going to have a lot of thoughts, we still move back to the breath. Perhaps we can just stop in that pause at the out breath. When you're good and ready, you breathe in again. And as you notice you're doing this, it's just relaxing you. That's what we do. We're not going to be in this state of being. Friends, this is not something to attain. You're not going to be sitting in a space like this unless you choose to. I'm not going to speak for every single person, but you're not going to something to, you know, get yourself in a robe and then you're going to be in this state of being 24 hours a day. No, you know why you come into this space. It's during times when it's really chaotic out there and it helps to relax you. As you'll notice very well, you ancient souls, that no matter how much drugs and alcohol or cigarettes you smoke, you still need the space to just one breath in and the breath out. And then you can go back to smoking and drinking, and you'll notice that, yeah. And as your frequency raises, you'll notice that some things change around that too. And you gain responsibility as the compassion and the oxygen comes into your heart space. And you start noticing that you're not alone. As you're breathing here, you start really applying this on a moment to moment basis. So you come out of the space today and you go and sleep tonight. Maybe it's bedtime now. Perhaps it's just not even dinner time yet for you. You're going off into your own. You're going to notice that you're not alone. We call them your aspects, your facets, your guardians, ancestors. Oh, they're all around you. There's so many loved ones that are holding the space for us as we do this. As some of you feel like you're trapped inside of a cuckoo clock. It is kind of a cuckoo clock. But see, we woke up. We woke up within it. And this is what we're doing. as you smile into your heart space. Why don't you place a rose in there for us? I want to see a rose inside those heart spaces, gleaming, breathing, opening and closing with every in breath, out breath, gleaming, trusting the self, knowing, just knowing. There's no need for understanding. It's just a knowing and a breathing of the in and out, and it's just a shining like a rose does on that beautiful summer day when it finally has all its energy accumulated for its bloom. It just shines. And in between all that is the darkness, knowing that it will go back into the dark womb of creation again. That dark womb of creation is your natural state of being. There was nothing to attain to begin with. And this is what we all knew. And this is what we know here as people here. We know this as people. Isn't that awesome? You know that as a person. You have that experience to take with you for eternity. I was a person once, and I understood. So if you can, just come back. You might want to open your eyes. We're not going to leave you away from the space all the way. Some of you, the day has not ended, so be careful of driving your car, or try careful of going to operating machinery. Just ground yourself for a little bit. You need to take a shower, water, splash it on your face, drink the water. You can drink the whole glass you have, and then a little bit more. Just ground yourselves. You're not new to this. Grounding after being in trance, we like to say. We just lowered your brain waves so to get out of your way, the brain could get out of the way so that we could be back to the present moment, place in which we never leave. So if you could just move your arms, just stretch out around you, move your arms up and over, and just, if you want to just get up and stretch a little bit, make sure you're grounded, even if you're going to go to sleep tonight. Okay. If your mind's too chattery, just remember your breath and just sit with it. You will calm down after a while. We're just sensing into it. And we feel like this space today is making it so that you're actually going to sleep very well tonight, because all of you need a good night's sleep. It's like you haven't slept in eternity. There's a big unit of you that hasn't. Maybe there's two or three that no, you can't agree with that. But for the majority, yeah, you really need that good night's sleep, friend. So be gentle with yourself and take this with you. Compassion for the self. Trust yourself. It'll work out. Just leave it up to us. Leave it up to the us, the us of you, the we, the oversoul, as you used to say. Trust it. The human's not responsible for this. You can actually just sit back and relax and do what you need to do. Watch a movie, play your video games, maybe just go out and go fishing or something, or play in the snow. It's winter time for some of you, and just distract yourself. Do what the best you can, and just, the human's not going to have to save the day that's already saved. It's already done. And so it is. And so it is. Thank you.